Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we will cover another type of join which is full outer join. Full outer join is a combination of left outer join as well as right outer join. Okay, now to explain it in more easier way, I will show you one example and we'll understand the requirement like what are the conditions where we can utilize this full outer join. And at last, we will discuss how we can use the same inside a sqlrpgle program. So let me show you some table and some queries that I have already executed. So this is the first table query where I'm creating one table named as players, and here we have two columns, player ID and player name. So if you are following this series of joins, then you know like in previous session we learned about the left outer join and right outer join as well as simple join, right? So there we were using the cricket example to understand the join. Same thing we are going to follow here also. We will take one example for the cricket records to understand this full outer join. So the first table that we are going to use for our demo is players table, where we have player ID and player name. Second table we have is ODI record, where we have three columns: player ID, best ODI score and ODI centuries. And if you see, there are common fields, only player ID. So player ID is the only common field. On the basis of that, we are going to apply the full outer join, because to perform join we need one common column. Okay, now to understand the requirement, I will show you the data first. So here I'm running one query: select star from Sharmit1 slash players. So if I hit enter, you can see there are some random data I have stored, like player ID, player name. Okay, now similarly, if I show you the another table data which is ODI record, then there are some data as well. So here we have player ID, best ODI score and ODI centuries. Now assume you are working as a broadcaster, and during a live cricket match you are supposed to show all the data, whether there is a respective data available in another field or not. It means, let's say there are few information, like we have this player ID 80 and 90, but if you look at the players table, there is no available name for player ID 80 and 90. But that is fine. If it is not available, simply show null. Likewise, if you look at the second table, means the first table, there we have player name, but for those player name there is no available data in ODI record table. So what it will do, like it will show the data, all the data, but if there is no respective data in the another file, then it will show null. So if I talk about regarding the left and right outer join, so what we were doing there, in left outer join the priority table would be the only the left table. So what it do, it picks all the data from the left table, and if there is no available data in right table respective to for those data, then it shows null. Similarly, if we talk about the right table or a right outer join, it picks all the data from the right table, and if there is no available data in left table, it shows null. But if there is available data, means if there is a matching records in both table, then it shows that data. Okay, so now our requirement is that we want to give priority to both table, like there should all the data should be populated from left as well as from right table, and if there is no respective available data in each other table, then it should show null, or if there is a matching record, then it should show the matched record. Okay, so to achieve this we will use full outer join. So let me copy this query, and here I will put it and paste it. So here you can see there are some missing data for player ID and player name, and if I press shift F8, there is some missing data here as well. But if there is no available data, it shows null, but it is printing the player name. Similarly, uh, some player name is not available, but if I press shift F8, it is showing that yes, we have ODI score and ODI centuries available. Okay, So this is how we can utilize full outer join, and you can customize it for any of the scenario as per your requirement. So this is all about the full outer join. In short, you can say that it is a combination of left outer join as well as right outer join. So if you are not aware of these two types of join, then you can refer the previous session. Then it would be more easier for you to understand this concept of full outer join. Now we will see how we can utilize the same inside sqlrpgle program. So to use the same query inside sqlrpgle program, you can follow the same steps. Just declare one constant with name sql state underscore valid with 5 times zeros, and this constant we will use to verify the query whether it is executed properly or not, because after executing every SQL statement, it returns the SQL status, and if that SQL status is matched with SQL state underscore valid, then then it means that the query is executed properly, and if it is not matching with it, then it means that it is not executed properly. Okay, below to this we have declared one data structure. This data structure we will use as a host variable in order to get the values from the query. So instead of declaring separate variable as a host variable, I am declaring one data structure with these 4 fields: player ID, player name, best score, and w underscore centuries. Okay, w is underscore is a prefix, right? So it will indicate that yes, this is the work variable from the TS. Afterwards we have set the SQL option commit equals to start none, and then we are declaring the cursor. So to declare the cursor, just write declare get ODI records, scroll keyword cursor for, and this is the query for which I want to create cursor. So this is the same query. I just remove the o1 dot player ID because it is a repeated thing, because we have that in the players table also, right? So better, it is a trick, like whenever you are declaring any cursor, just make sure that query should work properly. So just verify it by pasting it here. It is working. If I press shift 8, you can see here it is taking all that required data. Now it means we have the declaration is completed properly, because these are the constant thing, right? We are just using the fixed thing, and this is the data, this is our cursor name, right? So the only important thing is this, like if it is working fine, then there should not be any kind of mistake in these fixed thing, because these are the just keywords. Sometime we may change something inside query, so just to verify that, you can copy it and paste it to check the query. After cursor is declared, we will open the cursor. So here I'm executing exec SQL open cursor get ODI records, and below to that we are running one loop till SQL state is equal to SQL state underscore valid, because first time it will open the SQL state, uh, open the cursor, and if it is executed properly, then it will return the SQL state equal to SQL state underscore valid. So inside loop we are fetching the data from the get ODI records cursor into host variable ODI TS. So one by one it will pick each record from the from the query and store it into the data structure. So as we know that in this file we have some missing data, like for the player ID and player name. Similarly in records also there are some missing data. So to handle that, because whenever you are trying to insert missing data or null value into the host variable zone decimal, so it will generate error. So to trap that error, what we are doing here, we are checking for the SQL state. If SQL state 22002 occurs, which occurs when we are forcing the null value into the host variable, then it will generate this error with the SQL state 22002. So in that case, I'm just printing the message null value encountered and setting the SQL state equals to SQL state underscore valid. Okay, and it is up to you, like you can customize it as per your requirement, but just for the demo purpose, I'm just printing this thing null value encountered. So whenever there is a null value encountered in a record, it will print this message. afterwards I'm checking another condition, like if SQL state is not equal to SQL state underscore valid, then simply leave the loop. Else, if everything is okay, in that case we will just print the record. So here I'm printing the records, w underscore name, w underscore player id, w underscore best score, and w underscore centuries. Then doing endif, undo, and after undo, after fetching the records, we are closing the cursor. So here I'm closing the cursor, get ODI records, and setting the star INLR equals to star on. So let's quickly compile this program and call it. So you can see it is printing the record for the first player, similarly for the second player, for third player, fourth player, and fifth player as well. After fifth player, it will print 4 times null value encountered, because there are total 4 rows where null value is here available. So in that case, it is printing 4 times null value encountered. If you want to do something else, like you can create another cursor with different host variable as per your requirement, so that you can do. You can do the customization as per your need, but just for explaining the thing, I just print this message. Okay. So in this session, mainly we discuss about the full outer join, like how it works. So basically, full outer join gives the priority to both table, left table as well as right table. And just make sure that whenever I'm saying left and right table, it means the table which comes before the keyword is the left table, and the table which comes after the join keyword, with that is right table. Okay. So whenever someone asks you what is the meaning of full outer join and how it works, so you can simply say that it is a combination of left outer join as well as the right outer join. Okay. So yeah, that's all for this session. I hope it is clear to all of you. In the next session, we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.